So, stories are as old as every civilization, and for me to tell you that this is the way to write a story is absurd. There are many ways to write a story. I think this is a good way that you can help yourself think. Nonetheless, if you don't like this way, what I would at least like you to take and remember is this idea of problem and then decision, especially problem. When we talk about an engaging story, problem, conflict seems to be the most pivotal element. We want to know how people deal with their problems. What do they do? And that brings us to decision as well. The writers of South Park, the television show, say it all comes down to but and therefore. But is the problem, therefore someone does something. But there's a problem, therefore someone does something. But there's a problem, therefore we get problem, decision, problem, decision. The great screenwriter Aaron Sorkin said it comes down to intention and obstacle. You're trying to do something, something stops you. So you try something else, a new decision, a new problem. A new decision, a new problem. The more conflict there is, the more engaging the story. The more problems there are, the more engaging the story. And that is probably why Hamlet, the play, or at least part of why Hamlet is so fascinating. Hamlet is in conflict with all. He's in conflict with his own mother, who has had this illicit affair. He's not sure if she was part of the king's murder, or if she didn't really know about that. He's in conflict with his own country, because he probably should have succeeded to the throne, but the king's brother kind of swooped right in and took it from the senators and the queen. Hamlet is in conflict with himself because he has seen a ghost, and most of us do not see ghosts. So he's sort of doubting his own sanity. Did I really see a ghost? That's a little bit unusual. He's very much in conflict with all. The conflict is everywhere in his life. And all of the decisions he tries to make come into conflict, come into other problems. He tries to hold a play to determine who's guilty. He tries to interrogate his mother to determine his role. He tries to kill somebody and kills maybe the wrong person. You should read Hamlet yourself. But there's a great deal of conflict, and all of Hamlet's decisions are meeting with more conflict and more problem. And so even if you don't like this pattern that we have learned, I hope that you will at least remember that problem is really the key element of a story. And then decision, I would say, is right there next to it. And for that reason, in our activity, we will just practice thinking about conflict. We'll take a story like Cinderella, any famous story that you know, and then we'll try to flip it, whatever we think is the opposite. So in Cinderella, an overlooked girl goes to a ball and meets a prince. And we might say, well, the opposite is a popular boy goes to a hospital and meets a nurse. Whatever you think is the opposite. And then you try to think of all the conflict that might occur for that character. A popular boy. What are his conflicts? Maybe he has conflicts with other people in his school. Maybe he has conflicts in his family. What are his problems with his father, his mother, his brother, his sister, his teachers, his schoolmates, his friends? Why does he go to a hospital? What problems does he encounter trying to get in? Is he suffering bodily, mentally? Does he just sneak in? When he meets the nurse, why might they dislike each other? What problems might they have? The more conflict that we can have, more likely we are to find something interesting for our reader, for ourselves. We might keep wondering, how is this person going to solve this problem? And maybe that is the crux of what storytelling is.